What do you think is going to set it apart from some of the other competition shows that we've seen? Just watching the first episode, it feels like there's some mix of Tough Enough, some mix of almost like the Ultimate Fighter elements to it.
I think LFG is going to give you a very real look behind the scenes of what goes on in the WWE when it comes to cultivating younger talent, developing younger talent from basically day one. I mean, there are some talents on LFG that were part of this program for 2 weeks
Right.
before they even met myself or Booker or Mickey or Taker. It and I think the honesty of the show is going to be its charm. Nothing about this show, when it comes to my personality or any of the other legends, is contrived or canned or not as genuine as we can be in the moment. So, you're getting, all the stories you've heard about Bubba, you're getting Bubba.
Put
What
that on
issue
play.
do you have with me?
I just think you're a bully. Just how you treated me with complete disrespect.
I was never a bully to you. I didn't shake your hand because I don't want to become too familiar with you or anybody else until you win the competition.
Yeah.
And you earned the right.
How competitive do things get between the coaches, and what was it like seeing Taker in that environment, having to, like you said, maybe be that raw, real self that we don't always see from him?
We're four competitive people in our own right, competitive in, professional wrestling, real life. So the competition amongst the coaches is definitely there. The part of this show that I personally found very interesting is how Undertaker was going to be on the show. We haven't seen very much of Mark Calloway.
No.
So this is the first opportunity we get to see him really interact with younger talent, very, very young talent. We get to see him on a weekly basis, his natural demeanor. I love the documentary that the WWE did with him. And I said, and I've told this to his face. I've told him in private conversations. I told it to him on Busted Open After Dark. I said, boss, I never need to see your entrance again. I'm so much more invested in Mark Calloway these days than I am The Undertaker, and that's what you're getting from him. You're getting a very genuine side of him that I think people are going to be shocked by.
Speaking of some of the talent on the show, I know someone that people are going to look at is obviously Elijah Holyfield with his, his dad's name and who his dad is. Because what was your first impressions of him, seeing him?
Elijah Holyfield is a good dude, very quiet. I still don't know very much about him. He's not a guy that has really stood out to me. There are a lot of talents who have really popped here. Elijah has definitely taken steps forward, but I don't think he's taken as many steps forward as a lot of as some of the other future greats. Just recently did I see Elijah perform, and I said to him, I go, man, you got this Clubber Lang thing going on. And like his eyes lit up because
Yeah.
that's what I saw.
Yeah.
And Clubber Lang's one hell of a character to be able to sink your teeth into. Hopefully he can do some more with it.
Obviously, you had a match, with Trick and in NXT. Is getting into the ring in the right spot something you're interested in doing? And do you think we can get one more Dudley Boys match in WWE?
As far as a last Dudley Boys match, that's a no-brainer. Devon's feeling better than ever. He's been working with DDP. He's been doing the yoga, been doing the programs. Devon is feeling great. He's ready to go whenever he need. Me, I'm always ready to go. Matt Cardona stole "Always Ready" from me. So yeah, it just depends on what it is and who it's against. I think it's a no-brainer that the WWE universe and even TNA fans would love to see the
Right.
Dudleys and the Hardys sharing the ring one last time, one last match, one last whatever. We're not doing another TLC. We're not doing Hardys, Dudleys, because none of us want to do it. We
Yeah.
can't top what we've done. Thus, why would we ever want to screw with perfection and greatness? But one last Hardys, Dudleys match, absolutely, it's there to be done.
I think WWE released a couple of clips yesterday of I think it was Gunther that showed up and interacted with some of the contestants on the show. Punk was there. What was it like watching Punk kind of interact with the younger talent? We hear all these stories of how obviously how much interest he has in NXT and helping them. What was it like watching coach and or teacher CM Punk that day?
Punk, the day that Punk showed up was a really strong day here in NXT and for the future greats of LFG. What really stood out to me that day was after Punk had talked to the future greats, he challenged them. He basically dangled the microphone, dangled the pipe bomb in front of them and said, "All right, who wants to give this a try?" Before he could even get the words out of his mouth, two people were standing up, Xena Sterling and Castor Troy, two complete opposites. And I was so impressed by the both of them wanting to be the first ones to grab that microphone and cut that promo. And Castor was able to get to the microphone first, and he said things on that microphone that floored everyone. It was so real. It was so emotional. And I looked at him when he was done and I said, "I applaud you for taking the bull by the horns and, being the first one." I go, "But you've been waiting to cut that promo your entire life, haven't you?" And he's like, "Absolutely, I have." And he went after Punk. To have the guts to go first is one thing. To
Yeah.
go after Punk, and that's why that's a can't miss episode. This future great, who's been around for a cup of coffee and a biscuit, went after CM Punk.